Ladies and gentlemen, stress is something we all face. It's the tight knot in your stomach before a big presentation, the racing thoughts that keep you up at night, or the overwhelming pressure of juggling work, family, and life's endless demands. But here's the truth. Most people struggle with stress not because it's unavoidable, but because they've never learned the one critical skill that changes everything: how to manage their relationship with stress itself. We live in a world that glorifies hustle and productivity, often at the expense of our mental and physical health. We're taught to push through, to grit our teeth, and to deal with it. But what if I told you that the secret to thriving under stress isn't about eliminating it, but about transforming how you respond to it? Today, I'm going to share 7 key points that will help you understand why stress feels so overwhelming and how to master it by learning what most people never do: how to reframe, regulate, and redirect stress to work in your favor. Stress is not the enemy. Stress is a universal human experience. Yet it's often painted as a villain, something to be avoided at all costs. However, this perspective is fundamentally flawed and sets us up for unnecessary struggle. The first key to mastering stress lies in a simple but profound shift. Stress is not the enemy. It's a natural, biological response designed to help us navigate challenges, survive threats, and perform at our best. By understanding its purpose and reframing our relationship with it, we can transform stress from a debilitating force into a powerful ally. This expanded exploration will delve into why stress exists, how it serves us, and why demonizing it does more harm than good. At its core, stress is an evolutionary tool, hardwired into our biology over millions of years. When our ancestors faced a predator, their bodies triggered the fight or flight response, flooding their systems with adrenaline and cortisol to sharpen focus, increase strength, and boost reaction times. This wasn't a flaw, it was a survival mechanism. Today, while we're less likely to face a saber-toothed cat, our bodies still respond to modern challenges, like a tight deadline or a difficult conversation, with the same physiological toolkit. Stress prepares us to act, whether that's running from danger or tackling a high-stakes presentation. Recognizing this evolutionary purpose helps us see stress not as a malfunction, but as a system working as intended. The problem arises when we misinterpret stress's signals. Most people feel the racing heart, sweaty palms, or tight chest and immediately think, something's wrong. This knee-jerk reaction stems from a cultural narrative that equates stress with weakness or failure. But what if those physical sensations are your body's way of saying, "I'm ready for this"? The increased heart rate delivers oxygen to your muscles and brain, the adrenaline sharpens your focus, and the cortisol mobilizes energy reserves. These are signs of your body gearing up, not breaking down. By reframing these sensations as preparation rather than panic, we can begin to work with stress instead of against it. This shift in perspective is backed by science. Studies, like those conducted by psychologist Kelly McGonigal, show that how we view stress impacts its effects on our health and performance. In one study, participants who were taught to see stress as a helpful response, preparing them for a challenge, experienced fewer negative health outcomes, like elevated blood pressure, compared to those who viewed stress as harmful. They also performed better under pressure. This suggests that our beliefs about stress shape its impact. If we see it as the enemy, we amplify its negative effects. If we see it as a tool, we harness its energy to thrive. Unfortunately, society often reinforces the idea that stress is inherently bad. We're bombarded with messages about stress, free living, or the need to eliminate stress entirely, as if a life without it is the ultimate goal. This is not only unrealistic, but also counterproductive. Stress is inevitable. Life is full of challenges, from minor inconveniences to major crises. Trying to avoid it altogether is like trying to avoid exercise because it makes you sweat. Just as physical exertion builds strength, stress, when managed well, builds mental and emotional resilience. The goal isn't to eliminate stress, but to learn how to channel it effectively. One reason stress feels overwhelming is that most people never learn to differentiate between acute and chronic stress. Acute stress, the short-term burst you feel before a big event, is what we're designed to handle. It's temporary, purposeful, and often followed by a recovery period. Chronic stress, on the other hand, occurs when we're stuck in a prolonged state of pressure without relief, like ongoing financial worries or a toxic work environment. The key is not to vilify stress itself, but to address the chronic conditions that amplify it. By focusing on recovery, through rest, connection, or mindfulness, we can keep acute stress from spiraling into chronic overload. Another critical aspect of embracing stress is recognizing its role in growth. Psychologists refer to stress inoculation, the idea that facing manageable amounts of stress makes us stronger over time. Just as vaccines expose us to a weakened virus to build immunity, encountering stress in controlled doses trains us to handle bigger challenges. Think of a time you faced a stressful situation, like a tough exam or a public speaking event, and came out stronger. That's stress doing its job, pushing you to adapt, learn, and grow. By avoiding stress altogether, we miss out on these opportunities to build resilience and confidence. Ultimately, the reason most people struggle with stress is that they've been taught to fear it rather than understand it. This fear creates a vicious cycle. We feel stressed, we panic about feeling stressed, and that panic amplifies the stress. Breaking this cycle starts with education, learning that stress is a natural, even beneficial, part of life when approached with the right mindset. By seeing stress as a signal to act, a tool for focus, or a chance for growth, we can stop fighting it and start using it. This foundational shift sets the stage for mastering the other skills needed to thrive under pressure. Reframe your mindset. The way we perceive stress fundamentally shapes how it affects us. Yet most people are never taught to question their default view of stress as a negative force. The second key to mastering stress is to reframe your mind, shifting from seeing stress as a threat to viewing it as a challenge or opportunity. This mental pivot is not just a feel-good platitude. It's a scientifically supported strategy that can transform your emotional, physical, and performance outcomes. By consciously choosing to interpret stress as a helpful response rather than a harmful one, you can reduce anxiety, boost confidence, and even improve your health. This expanded exploration will unpack why mindset matters, how to reframe stress, and the profound impact this shift can have on your life. Mindset is a powerful lens through which we experience the world. When it comes to stress, most of us are conditioned to see it as a signal of danger or failure. The moment we feel our heart race or our palms sweat, we instinctively think, "This is bad," or "I can't handle this." This negative framing triggers a cascade of fear and self-doubt, amplifying the stress response and making it harder to cope. However, research in psychology, particularly from experts like Carol Dweck and Alia Crum, shows that our beliefs about stress shape its effects. If you believe stress is harmful, your body and mind respond with tension and avoidance. But if you see it as a sign that you're preparing for action, you can harness its energy to perform better. One of the most compelling studies on this topic comes from Yale University, where researchers found that individuals who were taught to view stress as a performance-enhancing tool experienced less anxiety and better outcomes during high-pressure tasks. Participants were shown videos explaining how stress responses, like a pounding heart or quickened breathing, are the body's way of preparing for a challenge. Those who adopted this stresses, enhancing mindset not only felt calmer, but also showed lower levels of harmful stress hormones like cortisol. This suggests that the simple act of reframing stress can change how your body and brain respond, turning a potential obstacle into a source of strength. Reframing stress starts with understanding what's happening in your body. When you're stressed, your brain triggers the release of adrenaline and cortisol, which increase your heart rate, sharpen your focus, and mobilize energy. These are the same physiological changes that occur when you're excited or energized. The difference lies in how you interpret them. For example, before a big presentation, instead of thinking, "I'm so nervous," try saying, "My body is getting ready to crush this." This subtle shift in language, often called cognitive reappraisal, helps you align your thoughts with the reality that stress is preparing you to meet the moment, not sabotage it. This mindset shift isn't just about positive thinking. It's about aligning your perspective with biological truth. Stress responses evolve to help us survive and thrive in challenging situations. When you reframe stress as a challenge rather than a threat, you activate a different neural pathway, one associated with growth and resilience rather than fear and avoidance. Neuroscientists have found that this challenge response engages the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for problem solving and decision making, rather than the amygdala, which drives fear-based reactions. By consciously choosing to see stress as a challenge, you empower yourself to think clearly and act effectively under pressure. Of course, reframing your mindset takes practice, especially since society often reinforces the opposite view. From workplace culture to social media, we're bombarded with messages that stress is something to dread or eliminate. This creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. We expect stress to overwhelm us, so it does. Breaking this cycle requires intentional effort. One practical strategy is to use affirmations or mantras during stressful moments. For instance, when you feel overwhelmed, pause and say, "This stress is my body giving me the energy to succeed." Over time, this practice rewires your brain to associate stress with opportunity, not danger. Another key to reframing stress is to focus on its potential benefits. Stress can sharpen your focus, boost your motivation, and even enhance your creativity. Think of athletes before a big game. Their stress response, often described as being in the zone, helps them perform at their peak. Similarly, in your own life, stress can push you to prepare more thoroughly, think more creatively, or connect more deeply with others. By focusing on these upsides, you train yourself to see stress as a partner in your success rather than an adversary. Journaling about past stressful experiences where you succeeded can also reinforce this mindset, reminding you that stress often precedes growth. The beauty of reframing your mindset is that it's a skill anyone can develop, regardless of their circumstances. Unlike external factors like workload or deadlines, your mindset is entirely within your control. Start small. The next time you feel stressed, pause and name one way the stress is helping you. Maybe it's making you more alert or pushing you to prioritize. With practice, this habit becomes second nature, and stress transforms from a burden into a tool for growth. This shift doesn't eliminate stress, but it changes your relationship with it, unlocking a new level of resilience and confidence. Master your physiology. Stress often feels overwhelming because it manifests physically, through a racing heart, tense muscles, or shallow breathing. Yet most people never learn how to manage these bodily responses effectively. The third key to mastering stress is to take control of your physiology, using targeted techniques to calm your nervous system and restore balance. By understanding and regulating the physical symptoms of stress, you can prevent them from spiraling into mental or emotional chaos. This skill is not about suppressing stress, but about working with your body's natural responses to channel them productively. This expanded exploration will dive into why physiology matters, how stress affects the body, and practical strategies to master it for better performance and well-being. When stress hits, your body's autonomic nervous system kicks into gear, activating the sympathetic branch, the fight or flight response. This triggers a cascade of physical changes. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing quickens, and your muscles tense as your body prepares for action. These responses are automatic, designed to help you respond to immediate challenges. However, in modern life, where stressors like deadlines or conflicts aren't physical threats, these reactions can feel disproportionate and disruptive. Without intervention, they can escalate, leading to feelings of panic or overwhelm. Mastering your physiology means recognizing these signals and using deliberate techniques to regulate them before they take over. One of the most accessible and effective ways to manage your physiology is through breath control. Breathing is unique because it's both automatic and within your conscious control. Under stress, most people default to shallow, rapid chest breathing, which reinforces the fight or flight response and keeps the nervous system on high alert. By contrast, slow, deep diaphragmatic breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, calming your body and mind. A simple technique like the 4-7-8 method: inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8, can lower your heart rate and reduce cortisol levels in minutes, making it a powerful tool for immediate stress relief. Beyond breathing, progressive muscle relaxation (PMR) is another potent technique for mastering your physiology. Stress often causes muscles to tense involuntarily, leading to physical discomfort and mental agitation. PMR involves systematically tensing and then releasing each muscle group in your body, from your toes to your head. This process not only relieves physical tension, but also sends a signal to your brain that the threat has passed, reducing the intensity of the stress response. Studies show that regular PMR practice can lower anxiety and improve sleep quality, making it a valuable habit for long-term stress management. Movement is another critical tool for regulating your physiology. Physical activity, even something as simple as a brisk walk, helps burn off excess stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol while releasing endorphins, the body's natural mood elevators. Exercise also mimics the physical demands of the fight or flight response, allowing your body to complete the stress cycle rather than staying stuck in a heightened state. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that even 10 minutes of moderate exercise can significantly reduce stress levels, making it an accessible option for anyone, anywhere. The science behind these techniques lies in their ability to influence the vagus nerve, a key component of the parasympathetic nervous system. The vagus nerve acts like a brake pedal, slowing down the stress response and promoting relaxation. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, or even cold exposure like splashing cold water on your face stimulate vagal tone, enhancing your body's ability to return to calm. Over time, consistently using these techniques strengthens your physiological resilience, making it easier to stay composed under pressure. This is why athletes and performers often rely on such methods to stay in the zone during high-stakes moments. However, mastering your physiology isn't just about reactive strategies. It's also about building a foundation of habits that keep your nervous system balanced. Poor sleep, dehydration, or a diet high in processed foods can amplify your body's stress response, making it harder to stay calm. For example, chronic sleep deprivation increases cortisol production, leaving you more reactive to stressors. By prioritizing sleep hygiene, staying hydrated, and eating nutrient-dense foods, you create a physiological buffer that makes stress easier to manage. These habits don't eliminate stress, but they ensure your body is better equipped to handle it. The beauty of mastering your physiology is that it empowers you to take control in the moment, no matter the circumstances. Unlike external stressors, which you may not always influence, your body's responses are within your reach. Start small. Practice one breathing exercise daily, or set aside 5 minutes for PMR before bed. Over time, these techniques become second nature, allowing you to interrupt the stress cycle and respond with clarity and confidence. By treating your body as an ally rather than a battleground, you unlock the ability to navigate stress with greater ease and resilience. Prioritize what you can control. One of the primary reasons stress feels so overwhelming is that we often fixate on things beyond our influence. Other people's opinions, unpredictable outcomes, or external circumstances like traffic or global events. The fourth key to mastering stress is learning to prioritize what you can control, a skill most people never fully develop. By focusing your energy on actionable steps and letting go of what's out of your hands, you can significantly reduce mental clutter and emotional strain. This approach empowers you to act with purpose and clarity, transforming stress from a paralyzing force into a manageable challenge. This expanded exploration will delve into why control matters, how to identify what's within your reach, and practical strategies to shift your focus effectively. The human mind has a natural tendency to dwell on uncertainties, which amplifies stress. When faced with a problem, we often spiral into worrying about worst-case scenarios or trying to control things that are inherently uncontrollable, like how others perceive us or what the future holds. This misdirected focus drains mental energy and heightens anxiety, leaving us feeling helpless. The Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what is up to us and what is not. This timeless wisdom remains relevant by concentrating on what you can influence, your actions, thoughts, and responses. You reclaim agency and reduce the emotional toll of stress. Identifying what you can control begins with self-awareness. In any stressful situation, your sphere of control includes your behavior, your mindset, and your preparation. For example, if you're stressed about a work deadline, you can't control your boss's expectations or unexpected delays, but you can control how you organize your time, the effort you put in, and how you communicate your progress. A practical exercise is to create a 2-column list, one for things you can control and one for things you can't. Writing this out clarifies where to direct your energy. For instance, you can't control a colleague's attitude, but you can control how you respond, whether by staying calm or setting boundaries. The psychological benefits of this approach are well documented. Research on locus of control, a concept developed by psychologist Julian Rotter, shows that individuals with an internal locus of control, who believe they can influence outcomes through their actions, experience lower stress and higher resilience than those with an external locus, who feel powerless. By focusing on what's within your control, you cultivate an internal locus, fostering a sense of empowerment. This doesn't mean ignoring external factors. It means acknowledging them without letting them dominate your mental space. The result is a calmer, more proactive mindset. One common barrier to prioritizing control is the trap of perfectionism. Many people stress over achieving flawless outcomes, which often depend on factors outside their control, like others' approval or ideal circumstances. Letting go of perfectionism involves embracing good enough in areas where you have limited influence and focusing on excellence where you can make a difference. For example, if you're preparing for a presentation, You can't control the audience's reactions, but you can control the quality of your preparation and delivery. Shifting your focus to these elements reduces anxiety and boosts confidence in your ability to perform. Another strategy for prioritizing control is time management. Stress often spikes when we feel overwhelmed by competing demands, many of which are outside our immediate influence. Tools like the Eisenhower matrix, which categorizes tasks by urgency and importance, can help you focus on what you can control right now. By tackling high-priority tasks within your influence, such as completing a report or having a clarifying conversation, you create a sense of progress and reduce the mental weight of stressors that are less actionable. This structured approach turns chaotic stress into manageable steps. Social dynamics also play a role in how we prioritize control. We often stress about others' behaviors or decisions, like a friend's lack of communication or a coworker's missed deadline. While you can't control their actions, you can control how you communicate, set expectations, or manage your reactions. For instance, instead of ruminating on a coworker's delay, you might initiate a conversation to clarify timelines or adjust your own workflow. This proactive stance not only reduces stress, but also fosters better relationships by focusing on constructive actions rather than blame. The beauty of prioritizing what you can control is its universal applicability. Whether you're facing a personal crisis, a professional challenge, or an unexpected setback, this principle provides a clear path forward. It's about shifting from a reactive mindset, where stress dictates your emotions, to a proactive one, where you dictate your response. By consistently practicing this skill, you train your brain to filter out irrelevant worries and hone in on actionable solutions, creating a ripple effect of calm and confidence across all areas of your life. Build a stress-proof routine. The fifth key to mastering stress is to build a stress-proof routine, a set of consistent habits that fortify your physical, mental, and emotional resilience against life's pressures. Most people struggle with stress because they lack a reliable foundation of practices to fall back on when challenges arise, leaving them to react chaotically or succumb to overwhelm. A well-crafted routine acts like a buffer, stabilizing your body and mind so you can handle stress with greater ease. By prioritizing habits like regular exercise, quality sleep, and mindfulness, you create a framework that not only mitigates stress, but also enhances your overall well-being. This expanded exploration will delve into why routines matter, the science behind key stress, reducing habits, and how to build a sustainable routine that works for you. Routines are powerful because they provide structure in an unpredictable world. When stress hits, whether it's a looming deadline or an unexpected crisis, the absence of consistent habits can leave you scrambling, amplifying feelings of anxiety and disarray. A stress-proof routine, however, offers a sense of control and predictability, grounding you even when external circumstances feel chaotic. Think of it as a daily anchor. By establishing habits that support your physical and mental health, you create a reservoir of resilience that you can draw upon when stress threatens to overwhelm you. This proactive approach shifts you from merely reacting to stress to preparing for it. One cornerstone of a stress-proof routine is regular physical activity. Exercise is a proven stress reducer as it lowers cortisol levels, boosts endorphins, and improves mood regulation. According to research from the American Psychological Association, even a single 20-minute session of moderate exercise, like brisk walking or yoga, can significantly reduce stress and enhance cognitive function. Beyond immediate relief, consistent exercise strengthens your body's ability to handle stress over time by improving cardiovascular health, and stabilizing blood sugar levels, both of which influence your stress response. Incorporating movement into your daily routine, whether it's a morning jog, a midday stretch, or an evening dance session, builds a physical foundation that makes stress feel less daunting. Sleep is another non-negotiable element of a stress-proof routine. Chronic sleep deprivation disrupts the body's stress regulation systems, increasing cortisol production and heightening emotional reactivity. The National Sleep Foundation reports that adults need 7-9 hours of quality sleep per night to maintain optimal health, yet many people skimp on rest, especially during stressful periods. Prioritizing sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, limiting screen time before bed, and creating a calming bedroom environment, can transform how you handle stress. A well-rested brain is better equipped to process challenges, make decisions, and regulate emotions, making sleep a critical defense against stress overload. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or journaling, are equally vital for building a stress-proof routine. Mindfulness trains your brain to stay present, reducing the tendency to ruminate on past mistakes or worry about future uncertainties, two common drivers of stress. Studies, like those published in the journal Psychology, show that just 10 minutes of daily mindfulness meditation can lower cortisol levels and improve emotional regulation. Journaling, meanwhile, allows you to process emotions and gain clarity, acting as a mental release valve. Incorporating a short mindfulness practice into your morning or evening routine can create a mental buffer, helping you approach stressors with greater calm and perspective. Nutrition also plays a pivotal role in stress resilience. A diet high in processed foods, sugar, or caffeine can exacerbate stress by causing energy spikes and crashes, which destabilize mood and focus. Conversely, a balanced diet rich in whole foods, like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, supports stable blood sugar and provides nutrients that regulate stress hormones. For example, foods high in omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon or walnuts, have been shown to reduce inflammation and improve mood. Building a routine that includes mindful eating habits, such as planning meals or keeping hydrated, ensures your body has the fuel it needs to handle stress effectively. The challenge of building a stress-proof routine lies in sustainability. Many people start with ambitious goals, daily gym sessions, hour-long meditation, or strict diet, only to abandon them when life gets busy. The key is to start small and focus on consistency over intensity. For instance, commit to a 10-minute walk each day or 5 minutes of deep breathing before bed. These small habits, when done regularly, compound over time, creating a robust foundation. The habit formation model, supported by research from University College London, suggests that it takes about 66 days to form a new habit, so patience and incremental progress are essential for long-term success. Ultimately, a stress-proof routine is about creating a lifestyle that aligns with your body's and mind's needs. It's not about perfection, but about building a framework that supports you through life's ups and downs. By integrating exercise, sleep, mindfulness, and nutrition into your daily life, you equip yourself with the tools to navigate stress proactively. These habits don't eliminate stress, but they ensure you're in a stronger position to manage it, turning what could be a breaking point into an opportunity for resilience and growth. Connect. Don't isolate. The sixth key to mastering stress is to connect with others rather than retreating into isolation, a common but counterproductive response to stress. When pressure mounts, many of us instinctively withdraw, believing we need to handle challenges alone, or that burdening others with our struggles is a sign of weakness. However, humans are inherently social creatures, and connection is one of the most powerful tools for reducing stress and fostering resilience. By reaching out to friends, family, or colleagues, we tap into a biological and psychological support system that can diffuse stress and restore perspective. This expanded exploration will delve into why connection is critical, how isolation exacerbates stress, and practical ways to build meaningful social bonds to buffer life's pressures. Stress often triggers a desire to isolate because it feels like the path of least resistance. When overwhelmed, we may think, "I don't have the energy to talk," or "no one will understand." This instinct, however, works against our biology. Humans evolved in tight, knit communities where survival depended on mutual support. When we isolate, we cut ourselves off from this natural stress relief mechanism, allowing negative emotions like anxiety or hopelessness to fester. Research from the field of social neuroscience, including studies by Dr. John Cacioppo, shows that social isolation increases cortisol levels and inflammation, amplifying the physical and mental toll of stress. Connection, by contrast, acts as a counterbalance, calming the nervous system and fostering emotional stability. One of the key mechanisms behind the stress-reducing power of connection is the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin is released during positive social interactions, whether it's a hug, a heartfelt conversation, or even a shared laugh. This hormone counteracts cortisol, reducing the physiological effects of stress and promoting feelings of trust and safety. A 2015 study published in Psychoneuronology found that social support, even in small doses, significantly lowers stress hormone levels during challenging tasks. Simply talking to a supportive friend or loved one can shift your body's stress response from fight or flight to a calmer, more grounded state. Connection doesn't always mean deep, emotional conversations. Even small, positive interactions can make a difference. Sharing a joke, catching up over coffee, or collaborating on a work project can lift your mood and reduce stress. These micro moments of connection, as psychologist Barbara Fredrickson calls them, build emotional resilience over time. For example, a quick chat with a coworker about a shared interest can provide a mental break from a stressful task, reminding you that you're not alone. These interactions don't need to be profound to be effective. Their power lies in reinforcing your sense of belonging and community. Isolation, on the other hand, creates a vicious cycle. When we withdraw, we lose access to external perspectives that can help us reframe or solve problems. We also miss out on the emotional validation that comes from sharing our experiences. A 2018 study in health psychology found that individuals with strong social networks report lower stress levels and better mental health outcomes than those who feel socially disconnected. This is because sharing our struggles with others helps us process emotions, gain clarity, and feel supported. Even venting about a bad day to a trusted friend can lighten the emotional load, making stress feel more manageable. Building a habit of connection requires intentionality, especially in a world where digital distractions and busy schedules can erode relationships. One practical strategy is to schedule regular check-ins with friends or family, whether it's a weekly phone call or a monthly dinner. Another approach is to seek out community, joining a club, volunteering, or participating in group activities like a fitness class or book club. These environments foster natural connections and provide opportunities to build a support network. Even small gestures, like sending a quick text to check in on someone, can strengthen bonds and create a reciprocal support system for stressful times. For those who feel hesitant to reach out, it's important to challenge the belief that asking for support is a burden. Most people are flattered when someone trusts them enough to share their struggles. Vulnerability, far from being a weakness, is a strength that deepens relationships and fosters mutual support. If opening up feels daunting, start with low-stakes interactions, like asking a colleague for advice on a minor issue or sharing a light-hearted story. Over time, these small steps build confidence in reaching out, making connection a natural part of your stress management toolkit. The beauty of connection is its accessibility. You don't need a large social circle or deep friendships to benefit. Even one or two meaningful relationships can make a significant difference. The key is to prioritize quality over quantity. Seek out people who listen without judgment, offer perspective, or simply make you feel seen. By making connection a regular part of your life, you create a safety net that catches you during stressful moments, reminding you that you're not navigating life's challenges alone. Turn stress into growth. The seventh key to mastering stress is to reframe it as an opportunity for growth rather than a barrier to overcome. Most people view stress as something to endure or avoid, but this perspective overlooks its potential to build resilience, deepen self-awareness, and foster personal development. Psychologists call this phenomenon post-traumatic growth or stress inoculation, where facing and navigating challenges strengthens your ability to handle future stressors. By embracing stress as a catalyst for learning and improvement, you transform it from a burden into a powerful tool for self-betterment. This expanded exploration will delve into the science of stress-driven growth, why it's a critical mindset, and practical strategies to turn stressful experiences into opportunities for lasting change. Stress, when approached constructively, acts like a muscle, building exercise for your mind and character. Just as physical training requires resistance to grow stronger, mental and emotional growth often stems from navigating difficult situations. The concept of post-traumatic growth, pioneered by psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun, suggests that individuals can emerge from adversity with greater resilience, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of purpose. For example, surviving a stressful event like a career setback or personal loss can lead to newfound confidence, clearer priorities, or a renewed appreciation for life. By seeing stress as a teacher rather than an enemy, you unlock its potential to shape you positively. The science behind stress inoculation further supports this idea. Much like a vaccine introduces a small dose of a virus to build immunity, manageable doses of stress train your mind to handle bigger challenges. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, shows that moderate stress exposure enhances cognitive flexibility and problem-solving skills over time. Think of a time you faced a daunting task, like delivering a high-stakes presentation or resolving a conflict. The discomfort you felt likely pushed you to prepare more thoroughly, think creatively, or develop new coping strategies. Each stressful experience, when navigated successfully, adds to your resilience, making future stressors feel less overwhelming. Reframing stress as a growth opportunity requires a shift in perspective, which begins with reflection. After a stressful event, most people focus on the negative, what went wrong or how it felt, instead asking questions like "What did I learn?" or "How did this make me stronger?" helps uncover the hidden benefits. For instance, a failed project might teach you better time management, while a difficult conversation could improve your communication skills. Journaling is a powerful tool for this process. Writing about a stressful experience, focusing on the lessons and strengths gained, helps rewire your brain to associate stress with growth. Studies in Journal of Clinical Psychology show that expressive writing about stressful events can improve mental health and foster a sense of empowerment. Another key to turning stress into growth is embracing discomfort as a sign of progress. Growth rarely happens in your comfort zone. It's the challenges that push you to adapt and evolve. Athletes, for example, deliberately subject themselves to physical stress through training to improve performance. Similarly, mental and emotional stress, whether from a tight deadline or a personal challenge, can stretch your capacities if you approach it with intention. The key is to view discomfort not as a threat, but as a signal that you're expanding your limits. This mindset, often called a growth mindset by psychologist Carol Dweck, encourages you to see challenges as opportunities to learn rather than obstacles to avoid. Building resilience through stress also involves cultivating self-compassion. Many people beat themselves up during stressful times, focusing on perceived failures or shortcomings, however burdens, and seeking professional support when needed. By fostering connection and building a stress-proof routine, you create a foundation that supports growth through adversity, turning stress into a stepping stone for a stronger, wiser you. Ending for speech, most people struggle with stress because they never learned this in closing. Let it recognize that stress is not an enemy to be defeated, but a partner to be understood and harnessed. By embracing the 7 key principles we've explored today, viewing stress as a natural ally, reframing your mindset, mastering your physiology, prioritizing what you can control, building a stress-proof routine, connecting with others, and turning stress into growth, you can transform your relationship with stress. These skills are not innate. They are learned, practiced, and refined over time. They empower you to navigate life's challenges with resilience, clarity, and purpose. Imagine a life where stress no longer paralyzes you, but propels you forward. Each challenge you face becomes a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more connected. This transformation begins with a single step: choosing to see stress differently. Start today. Pick one of these principles and apply it in a small way. Maybe it's taking 5 deep breaths during a tense moment, reaching out to a friend, or reflecting on what a stressful experience taught you. These small actions, compounded over time, will redefine how you experience stress. The truth is, stress is an inevitable part of being human, but suffering under it is not. By learning these skills, you're not just surviving stress, you're using it to build a life of strength, connection, and growth. So the next time stress comes knocking, don't fear it. Welcome it, learn from it, and let it guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you.